The emergency room fell silent when she walked in. Her scrubs were ordinary, her smile kind, but the way she moved through the chaos precise, like she'd walked through fire before made the other nurses pause. No one knew her name. No one asked about the faded scar on her wrist. And when the alarms started screaming and armed men stormed through the doors, she didn't run. She didn't freeze. She simply reached for her stethoscope. Because some secrets are kept for moments. Exactly like this. All anyone needed to know? She'd arrived 3 weeks ago. Quiet. Efficient. The kind of nurse who finished her charts early and never complained about double shifts. Dr. Morrison barely looked at her during rounds. To him, she was just another set of hands. Chen, room 304, needs vitals, he said without glancing up from his tablet. Yes, doctor. She moved through the hallway with practiced ease. Her white sneakers made no sound on the linoleum. Patients smiled when she entered their rooms. She had that effect on people, but today felt different. Sarah felt it the moment she stepped off the elevator. The air was wrong. To still. The security guard by the entrance kept glancing at his phone. His hand rested near his belt. Near his radio, she noted it. Filed it away. Room 34. Elderly. Man pneumonia. She checked his oxygen levels and adjusted his 4. Her hands were steady. They were always steady. You're new here, aren't you? The patient asked, fairly new. Yes, you seem capable. Sarah smiled. I try to be. She returned to the nurse's station. Dr. Morrison was there. Arguing with a surgeon about a procedure? Typical. He loved being right more than he loved saving lives. The PA system crackled. Code silver. Code silver. All personnel. Shelter in place. The hallway froze. Code silver meant active threat. Armed intruder. Nurses grabbed patients. Doctors shouted orders. Chaos rippled through the ward like a shockwave, but Sarah didn't move. She stood perfectly still, eyes scanning the exits, calculating distances, noting the positions of every person in the hallway. Chen, get inside a room. Now. Dr. Morrison barked. She didn't answer, because she'd already heard them. Boots, heavy military grade. Moving fast through the east stairwell, for men. Maybe 5, the elevator dinned. The doors opened. 3 men stepped out. Black tactical gear. Masks covering their faces. Weapons drawn, everyone down. Now, screaming erupted. Staff hit the floor. Dr. Morrison's face went white. Sarah watched them. Studied them. Their formation was sloppy. Their weapons held wrong. These weren't professionals. One of them grabbed a nurse by the arm. Where's the pharmacy? I don't, where's it? Sarah stepped forward. Let her go. All 3 guns swung toward her. The leader laughed. You giving orders, nurse? I'm asking nicely. Get on the ground before she moved. 3 steps. A blur of motion. The first man's weapon clattered to the floor before he realized she'd taken it. The second swung his rifle toward her. She redirected it with her forearm, drove her elbow into his throat. He dropped. The third man fired. The bullet sparked off the wall 6 inches from her head. She'd already moved. Already closed the distance. Her palm strike to his solar plexus folded him like paper. Silence. Dr. Morrison stared. Mouth open, Sarah stood over 3 unconscious men. Not even breathing hard. She picked up one of their radios. Listened. Team 2. Status. She clicked the transmit button. Team 2 is compromised. Abort. Static. Then, who is this? Sarah crushed the radio under her heel. She turned to the stunned staff. Get the patients into lockdown rooms now. Who are you? Dr. Morrison whispered. Sarah knelt beside the unconscious men. ZI tying their wrists with supply cords. It's just a nurse. Dr. But her eyes told a different story. And outside, sirens began to wail. If you want to see what happens when the authorities arrive, subscribe to The Secret Medic, because this story is just beginning. *. The hospital was surrounded within minutes. Black SUVs. Tactical vans. Uniformed officers creating a perimeter 3 blocks wide. Sarah watched from the 4th-floor window. Her expression never changed. Dr. Morrison paced behind her. This is insane. Absolutely insane. You attacked those men. You could have gotten us all killed. They weren't here to kill, Sarah said quietly. They were here to steal. How do you have opioids? Fentanyl. Street value is high enough to risk a daytime raid. Morrison stared at her. You're a nurse. How do you know this? Sarah didn't answer. A younger nurse Kelly approached cautiously. Sarah, the police are asking for you. They want a statement. Tell them I'm securing the floor. But tell them. Kelly hesitated, then nodded and hurried away. Sarah moved through the hallway, checking rooms. Patients were scared, but safe. The staff had followed protocol. Locked doors. Lights off, good. She returned to the nurses' station. The 3 intruders were still unconscious, zip-tied and guarded by a terrified orderly. Sarah knelt beside the leader. Checked his pockets, wallet, fake ID, burner phone. She powered on the phone. No password. Amateurs. Text messages. Coordinates. A meeting point. She memorized everything, then shut it down. What are you doing? Morrison demanded. My job. Your job is to take vitals and change bedpans. Sarah stood, met his eyes. For the first time, Morrison saw something in her gaze that made him step back. My job, Sarah said slowly, is to keep people alive. That's what I'm doing. The elevator dinged again. Sarah's hand moved to her pocket. A reflex. The doors opened. 2 police officers stepped out. SWAT gear. Rifles raised. Everyone stay where you are? Sarah raised her hands. Calm. Non-threatening. I'm Sarah Chen. I'm the one who detained the suspects. The lead officer, Sergeant Hayes, according to his name, plate lowered his weapon slightly. You took down 3 armed men? They weren't properly trained. Hayes exchanged a glance with his partner. Ma'am, we need you to come with us. FBI wants a statement. I understand. But I need to finish securing this floor first. Ma'am, this is not a request. Sarah's expression didn't change, but something in her posture shifted. A subtle straightening of her spine. A slight tilt of her head. Hayes felt it. His partner felt it. This woman was not afraid of them, Sergeant Sarah said quietly. There were 3 men on this floor. The text messages on their phones referenced Team 2 and Team 3. That means there are at least 6 more hostiles in this building. Possibly 9. His froze. How do you? I need 15 minutes to sweep the upper floors. Then I'll give your FBI friends all the statements they want. You can't, Sergeant Hayes. Her voice cut through his protest like a blade. In 15 minutes, either I find the remaining hostiles, or they find another way out. Which do you prefer? Hayes stared at her. Then slowly, against every regulation he knew, he nodded. 15 minutes. Sarah moved past him toward the stairs. Morrison grabbed her arm. Chen, what the hell is going on? Who are you? She looked at his hand on her arm. He released it immediately. I'm someone trying to help, Doctor. That's all you need to know. She disappeared into the stairwell. Hayes turned to his partner. Call it in. Tell them we have a potential hostile nurse. No. Wait. He paused. Tell them we have an asset in play. Asset. Sir, she's a just make the call, 'cause Hayes had been in the military. He'd served 2 tours in Afghanistan, and he recognized the look in Sarah Chen's eyes. It was the look of someone who'd seen combat. Real combat. The kind you didn't walk away from without scars. Asterisk. The 6th floor was supposed to be empty. Renovations closed. For 3 months, Sarah moved through the darkened hallway like a shadow. Her sneakers made no sound. Her breathing, controlled and silent. She'd grabbed a flashlight from a supply closet. Didn't turn it on, didn't need it. Her eyes adjusted to the darkness. She counted doors. Noted the layout. Escape routes. Choke points. Then she heard it. Voices, low, urgent. End of the hallway. Behind the older suite, she pressed against the wall. Edged closer. Cops everywhere, man. We gotta bail. Not without the product. Boz'll kill us. Better than getting arrested. Shut up. Both of you. 3 men. Maybe 4. Sarah peered around the corner. 4 hostiles. Same tactical gear as the others. But these men moved differently. Professionally, these were the real threat. One of them was setting up. Shaped charge on the pharmacy storage locker, Sarah calculated. 4 armed men. Enclosed space. No backup. Bad odds, she smiled. She'd faced worse. Sarah stepped into the doorway. Stop what you're doing. All 4 men spun. Weapons up. The leader, older, scarred face, narrowed his eyes. Who the hell are you? Asterisk hospital staff. You need to leave, laughed. Hospital staff. Lady, you picked the wrong day to play hero. Last chance, or what? Sarah's hand moved to her pocket. Pulled out a small metal object. The leader's eyes widened. It was a challenge. Coin, not just any coin. Special operations. Elite unit insignia. Asterisk. The kind you only earned after years of Black Ops missions that never made the news. Where did you get that? The leader demanded. Earned it.
Oh, bullshit.
That's Sarah threw it. The coin hit the overhead light. Shattered the bulb. Darkness. She moved. The first man went down before he could fire. A precise strike to the nerve cluster in his neck. The second swung his rifle. She caught it, twisted. The weapon clattered away. Gunfire erupted. Muzzle. Flashes lit the room in strobe-like bursts. Sarah was never where the bullets flew. Asterisk, she was behind them. Beside them, inside their formation, a palm strike. An elbow. A sweep of the leg. One by one they fell. The leader was last. He raised his weapon. Finger on the trigger. Sarah was faster. She disarmed him with a move that broke 2 of his fingers. He screamed. She silenced him with a strike to the temple. Unconscious. Silence returned. Sarah stood in the darkness, breathing steadily. 4 bodies on the floor. All alive, all neutralized. She picked up her challenge coin from the floor, wiped the blood off, put it back in her pocket. Then she heard footsteps. Heavy boots? Multiple officers. The lights came on. Sergeant Hayes stood in the doorway, SWAT team behind him. He stared at the scene. 4 armed men, unconscious, disarmed. 1 nurse. Not even breathing hard. Jesus Christ, Hayes whispered. Sarah walked past him. That's all of them. Pharmacy's secure. Ma'am, I need you too. I know. Statement, FBI. I'll be downstairs. She disappeared into the stairwell. Hayes looked at his team. Secure these suspects. And someone find out who the hell that woman really is. One of the SWAT officers knelt beside the unconscious leader. Checked his injuries, Sarge. These aren't random strikes. This is military-grade hand-to-hand combat. Precision nerve strikes. Disabling, not lethal. Hayes nodded slowly. He pulled out his radio. Changed to a secure frequency. This is Sergeant Hayes, St. Mary's incident. I need an immediate background check on a hospital employee. Name, Sarah Chen. Registered nurse. Static. Then a voice. Cold. Official. Sergeant, you're to cease all inquiries into that individual immediately. Hayes froze. Sir, that's a direct order. The matter is classified. Federal jurisdiction. Who is she? Above your clearance level, Sergeant. Stand down. The line went dead. Hayes stared at the radio. Then at the stairwell where Sarah had vanished. Who the hell did we just meet? He whispered. The hospital lobby had become a command center. Police, FBI, tactical teams. And in the middle of it all, Dr. Morrison giving his statement to a federal agent who looked increasingly bored. And then she just attacked them. Like some kind of action movie. It was reckless. Dangerous. She violated every hospital protocol. Dr. Morrison, the agent, interrupted. Did anyone die? Well, no, but Were any hostages taken? No, but that's not. Then it sounds like she saved lives. The agent closed his notepad. We'll take it from here, Morrison sputtered. You can't just. Where is she? Where's Chen? That's classified. Classified. She's a nurse. The agent walked away. Morrison turned to find Sarah standing behind him. He jumped. Jesus. How do you do that? Do what? Appear out of nowhere like some kind of ghost. Sarah didn't answer. She was watching the entrance. Something was happening. The police officers were snapping to attention. FBI agents straightening their jackets. Even the hardened SWAT members stood a little taller. A convoy pulled up outside. 3 black SUVs. Government plates. The doors opened. 6 Marines stepped out first. Dress blues. Metals gleaming. Then a woman emerged from the center vehicle. Older. Steel gray hair pulled back in a tight bun. 4 stars on her uniform collar. General Elizabeth Winters, Chief of Special Operations. Command. The lobby fell silent. Dr. Morrison's mouth hung open. That's a 4-star general. Sarah's expression didn't change, but her hands moved to her sides. Her spine straightened. Old habits. General Winters walked through the lobby. Officers parted like water. She moved with the authority of someone who'd commanded thousands of soldiers in war zones. Her eyes scanned the room, found Sarah. She walked directly to her. Morrison stepped forward. General, I'm Dr. Richard Morrison. Head of Winters didn't even glance at him. She stopped in front of Sarah. The entire lobby watched, and then General Elizabeth Winters did something no one expected. She saluted. A crisp, perfect military salute. Sarah hesitated. Then slowly, she returned it. The general held the salute for 3 full seconds. A sign of deep respect? Then she dropped her hand. Major Chen, Winters said. Her voice carried through the silent lobby. It's good to see you again? Morrison's face went white. Major? Winters finally looked at him. Dr. Morrison, I understand you've been working with one of my finest officers. Your officer? Major Sarah Chen, Delta Force. Served 3 tours in classified operations across 4 continents. 17 confirmed high-value target eliminations. Recipient of the Distinguished Service Cross, 2 Silver Stars, and the Defense Superior Service Medal. The words landed like bombs. Kelly, the young nurse, grabbed the desk for support. Morrison looked like he might faint. Winters turned back to Sarah. You requested medical leave to pursue nursing. I'll admit I was skeptical. But after today's incident, I see you haven't lost your edge. Just trying to help, ma'am. You neutralized 9 hostiles, alone without a single casualty. I'd call that more than helping. Sarah said nothing. Winters smiled. It was a rare expression on her weathered face. The intel you gathered from their phones led us to their supplier. We shut down a major trafficking network. You did good work, Major. Thank you, ma'am. Morrison finally found his voice. I don't understand. If you're military, why are you working as a nurse? Sarah met his eyes. 'Cause soldiers break things. I wanted to learn how to fix them. Winters nodded approvingly. Your leave is extended, Major, but when you're ready to come back, we have a position waiting. Commander of the Medical Operations Division. Teaching combat medics? Saving lives from behind the lines? I'll consider it, ma'am. That's all I ask. Winters glanced at Morrison. I trust you'll treat Major Chen with the respect she's earned. Morrison could only nod. Winters gave Sarah one last look. Pride. Respect. Something almost like fondness. Then she turned and walked out. The Marines followed. The convoy pulled away. Silence. Kelly approached slowly. Sarah, you're really a soldier. Sarah looked down at her nurse's scrubs, at the stethoscope around her neck. Now I'm just trying to be something else. But you could have told us. You could have? Would it have mattered? Kelly thought about it. No, I guess not. Morrison cleared his throat. Chun Maja Chuna, owe you an apology. No, you don't.
I do.
I underestimated you. Dismissed you. Treated you like you were like I was a nurse. Sarah smiled. That's exactly what I am, doctor. The rest is just history. She walked toward the elevator. Morrison called after her. Where are you going? Sarah pressed the button. Back to work. Room 304 needs his evening vitals. The doors opened. She stepped inside, and as the doors closed, Morrison saw something in her reflection. Not a soldier, not a warrior, just a woman who'd learned to save lives in the darkest places on Earth, and now chose to do it in the light. Asterisk, the hospital returned to normal. Slowly, the police left. The FBI cleared their equipment. The news trucks packed up after getting their sound bites, but nothing felt the same. Sarah walked through the hallways the next morning. Same scrubs. Same smile. But everyone looked at her differently now. Some with awe. Some with fear. Some with confusion. Kelly approached her at the nurse's station. Good morning, Major. Just Sarah, please. Sorry, I keep forgetting. Kelly hesitated. Can I ask you something? Of course. Why did you leave? The military, I mean. You were incredible. A hero. Sarah looked out the window. At the city beyond, heroes die, Kelly. Usually young. Usually alone. I wanted to grow old. See if there was another way to serve. In nursing? Nursing is the opposite of war. War destroys. Nursing heals. I needed the balance. Kelly nodded slowly. Does it work? The balance. Sarah smiled. Ask me in a few more years. Dr. Morrison appeared. He looked uncomfortable. Chun Sarah, can we talk? My office? Of course, Dr. Prue. They walked in silence. Morrison closed the door behind them. He gestured to a chair. Sarah sat. Morrison paced. I've been thinking about what happened yesterday, sir. I treated you poorly. Not just recently. Since you started here, I was dismissive, condescending, and I want to apologize. Doctor, you don't, please. Let me finish. He stopped pacing. Looked at her. You're the most qualified person in this hospital. Not just as a nurse. As a leader. You saved lives yesterday. You saved my life. And He sat down heavily. I'm ashamed of how I treated you. Sarah leaned forward. Dr. Morrison, you didn't know who I was. And honestly, that's how I wanted it. I came here to be normal. To be judged by my work, not my past. But your work is extraordinary. Then judge me on that. Not on the medals or the rank. Just judge me as a nurse. Morrison studied her. You really mean that, don't you? I do. He nodded slowly. Okay, then, as your supervising physician, I want to say you did excellent work yesterday. Your quick thinking and courage saved lives. That's all that matters. Sarah smiled. Thank you, doctor, and if you have any recommendations for improving our emergency protocols, I'd like to hear them. Officially, I'll put together a report. Good. Extended his hand. Sarah shook it. Welcome to the team, Nurse Chen. Thank you, sir. She left his office. Found Kelly waiting. Everything okay? Better than okay. They walked to the ICU together. Room 304. The elderly patient from yesterday. He smiled when Sarah entered. Ah, the mysterious nurse who saved us all. Just doing my job, Mr. Patterson. My grandson saw you on the news. Said you were some kind of superhero. He chuckled. Is it true? Were you really in the army? Something like that. Now you're here. Taking care of old folks like me? Best job I've ever had. Mr. Patterson's eyes grew serious. Thank you. For your service. Both kinds. Sarah felt something in her chest. A warmth. A rightness. You're welcome. She checked his vitals. Adjusted his medication. Made sure he was comfortable. Normal nursing work. It felt good. As she left the room, her phone buzzed. Text message. Encrypted. From General Winters. The offer stands. Major, we need people like you. But I understand if you've found your calling. You've earned your peace. E.W. Sarah looked at the message for a long moment, then typed a reply. "Thank you, General, but I think I'm exactly where I need to be." Says she deleted the conversation. Put the phone away. Kelly appeared with a chart. "We've got 3 admissions coming up from a busy afternoon. Good, let's get to work." They moved through the hallway together. 2 nurses, doing their jobs, saving lives in the way that mattered most, one patient at a time. Behind them, Dr. Morrison watched from his office window. He'd underestimated Sarah Chen. He wouldn't make that mistake again, because heroes didn't always wear uniforms. Sometimes they wore SCRUBs. Sometimes they carried stethoscopes instead of weapons. Sometimes they chose to heal instead of hurt, and sometimes the most powerful thing a warrior could do was put down their sword and pick up something. Gentler Sarah Chen had fought in wars most people would never know about, had saved lives in ways that would never make the news, had earned medals and honors that would stay classified forever. But here, in this hospital, she was just a nurse, and that was exactly who she wanted to be. Asterisk, she checked his vitals, adjusted his medication, made sure he was comfortable. Normal nursing work. It felt good. As she left the room, her phone buzzed. Text message. Encrypted. From General Winters. "The offer stands. Major, we need people like you. But I understand if you've found your calling. You've earned your peace." E.W. Sarah looked at the message for a long moment, then typed a reply. "Thank you, General, but I think I'm exactly where I need to be." Says she deleted the conversation. Put the phone away. Kelly appeared with a chart. "We've got 3 admissions coming up from a busy afternoon. Good, let's get to work." They moved through the hallway together. 2 nurses, doing their jobs, saving lives in the way that mattered most, one patient at a time. Behind them, Dr. Morrison watched from his office window. He'd underestimated Sarah Chen. He wouldn't make that mistake again, because heroes didn't always wear uniforms. Sometimes they wore SCRUBs. Sometimes they carried stethoscopes instead of weapons. Sometimes they chose to heal instead of hurt, and sometimes the most powerful thing a warrior could do was put down their sword and pick up something. Gentler Sarah Chen had fought in wars most people would never know about, had saved lives in ways that would never make the news, had earned medals and honors that would stay classified forever. But here, in this hospital, she was just a nurse, and that was exactly who she wanted to be.